On some breaking news coming in this minute, significant developments. A US strategic bomber has triggered alarm in the skies over the UK. A B-52 aircraft reportedly issued an emergency distress signal mid-flight. That's the latest coming in. And for a few tense moments, attention turned to one of America's most powerful war machines there. According to reports, the long-range strategic bomber declared the distress signal while operating over UK airspace. The aircraft, a key part of America's global strike capability, is designed for endurance, power, reliability, remember. And this distress signal was issued while the plane was traveling back to a base in the west of England. Those are the details that have come in right now. The reason for the distress signal as of now has not been confirmed, so we are awaiting further inputs. Now, just for perspective, the aircraft reportedly transmitted that code to regional radar stations. The specific signal is the universal aviation language for a general emergency. It immediately notifies all nearby controllers that the plane is in serious distress. When a pilot dials in this code, it clears the airwaves. It grants the aircraft priority over all other traffic, just to put this simply. And it's a request for a clear path to the nearest runway before the situation turns dangerous. And a fleet of American military planes currently stationed at Fairford, in fact, including B-1 Lancer bombers. This after the British Prime Minister granted the US permission to use it, as well as Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean during the Iran war. Now, just for perspective, the Stratofortress, which reportedly issued the distress signal, is a long-range strategic bomber capable of carrying nuclear or conventional weapons. The bomber can fly at high subsonic speeds at altitudes of up to 50,000 feet. The aircraft has a range of 8,800 miles and 5 crew. And we're starting off this story with a crucial question. Who is the Iranian leader that Donald Trump is really speaking to? Is there even a single voice negotiating for peace? And that question sits at the heart of a rapidly evolving mystery around the peace talks in West Asia. New reports by Israeli media suggesting that the new leader of Iran is prepared to engage in talks with Washington. According to these reports, in fact, a sensitive channel of communication involving Abbas Araghchi and the U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff was approved at the highest levels of Iran's power structure. And this diplomatic outreach may have quietly received elite backing. These reports surfacing just a day after Donald Trump had doubts over clarity of Khamenei's status, remember.
Nobody, we have not heard from the son. Every once in a while you see a statement made, but we haven't. We don't know if he's living. But the people that seem to be running it, and they seem that based on really fact, because things they've said have taken place.
And yet, at the same breath, Trump has insisted that Washington is in active contact with senior Iranian figures, suggesting that talks are not only ongoing but entering a more serious phase. So if Khamenei, if not him, then who is the question? Attention is now turning towards Mohammad Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament speaker, who has emerged as a possible interlocutor. Reports from Axios identified him as a key figure allegedly engaging with U.S. channels, even as some in the Trump administration view him as a potential partner and, remarkably, even a future leader in Iran. But he has flatly denied all such claims. He has rejected any suggestion of negotiations with Washington. He dismissed Trump's assertions as fake news and accused Washington of attempting to manipulate global financial and oil markets through strategic messaging. Now, these developments together, triggering intrigue, adding to this conundrum over the back-channel talks, the denials, and what's really happening. Trump has also added a sense of urgency when he announced that the 5-day pause will be used to produce further results. And all of this unfolding against the backdrop of the Strait of Hormuz crisis, a critical route that carries around a fifth of global oil and liquefied natural gas supplies, and its closure by Iran for its adversaries, choking the energy and financial sectors of the world. Air travel across West Asia continues to face disruption amid the war. Routes over parts of the region, in fact, have seen sudden cancellations or disruption. Many airlines have issued advisories citing safety concerns. And now Israel's national and largest carrier, El Al, has also taken a major step. The airline has slashed its seat capacity to just 5% of normal levels. This sharp reduction following a directive from Israel's transport authorities to basically scale down activity at the airport located near Tel Aviv, the decision coming amid the ongoing war, of course. Since late February, the airline has been running repatriation flights. But reportedly, after a fresh security review, Israeli transport minister has ordered a steep cut in flight movements, citing risks to civilian lives. Despite claims by Israel that most incoming missile threats have been intercepted, recent failures have reportedly raised alarm. Incidents over the weekend left multiple civilians injured, remember, in southern Israel, prompting stricter aviation controls. The airport has also been the site of several attacks by Iran. Under the new rules, the airport will now handle just one arrival and one departure per hour. While incoming flights face no passenger cap, outgoing flights are limited to just 50 passengers each. The airline says it will now prioritize urgent humanitarian and medical travel, and it will operate a handful of essential routes connecting Israel to parts like New York, Los Angeles, London, Paris. At the same time, the airline is urging Israeli authorities to expand operations to Ramon Airport, located over 4 hours from Tel Aviv. It is close to Eilat, which borders Jordan and Egypt, where other Israeli carriers have been operating some flights. Israel's Arkia Airlines also shifting much of its activity to nearby regional hubs in Jordan and Egypt, keeping limited operations at the airport beyond Israel. In fact, European airlines like Lufthansa, Air France, KLM have suspended many flights to the region, while Asian carriers like Singapore Airlines and Japan Airlines have also paused or rerouted flights. Indian airlines like Indigo, Air India are also operating a limited number of flights across the region. Israel, and more so its prime minister, find themselves potentially in a position they have barely faced before, alone and stranded in a way. Ever since its creation in 1948, Israel has operated with the firm backing of the United States. But now, for the first time, especially since the Gaza war started, that support appears uncertain. And at the center of this is Netanyahu. After a conversation with US President Donald Trump, Netanyahu saying that Washington sees an opportunity for a deal with Iran. According to Netanyahu, Trump believes recent military gains could be converted into a negotiated agreement. And Netanyahu is not backing down. He has made it clear Israel will continue its strikes in Iran and also in Lebanon.
Situation where the Houthis, for the first time ever, ceased.
Earlier today, I spoke with our friend President Trump. President Trump believes that there is a chance to leverage the tremendous achievements of the IDF and the United States military in order to realize the war's objectives in an agreement that will safeguard our vital interests. At the same time, we continue to strike both in Iran and in Lebanon.
And according to a report by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, the United States supplied nearly 70% of Israel's conventional arms between 2019 and 2023, a figure that experts say has only risen more since the Gaza war started. In fact, according to think tanks, US contributes around 20% of Israel's defense budget prior to the commencement of the Gaza war. Access to US intelligence, advanced weaponry also remains crucial for any prolonged war. So acting alone, experts say, would significantly increase the risks for Israel, both militarily and strategically. And now even public opinion in the United States is shifting. For the first time since Gallup commenced its poll on the Palestine-Israel issue in 2001, more Americans sympathize with Palestinians than Israelis. According to a recent Gallup poll, in fact, 41% of Americans now side with Palestinians, while 36% support Israelis. A sharp reversal from previous years. So where does all of this leave the Israeli leader? Without guaranteed American backing, Israel may be forced to rethink its strategy. And one possibility is perhaps shifting focus to a more immediate front. There are already signs of that. Israel's finance minister has called for the annexation of southern Lebanon. Netanyahu has vowed to continue operations against Hezbollah there. So could Lebanon become the sole battleground? Because there is also a political dimension to this. For Netanyahu, conflict is not just about security. It's also about survival. A prolonged war or even a war-like situation allows for elections to be delayed. And right now, Netanyahu's position is far from secure. According to a recent Channel 12 poll, his bloc would win only 51 seats, trailing behind the opposition led by Naftali Bennett, which stands at 59. So the stakes are clear. A possible US-Iran deal could leave Israel and Netanyahu at crossroads.